Alright, here we are. We're in Inkscape version 1.4.4. First thing I'm going to do, set up my canvas, set up the keyboard, and I will always choose the dark. Now go ahead, make a new document. When it pops up, we're going to have to first go to File, not Edit, File, and Document Properties. Alright, here we are. In Document Properties, make sure you're checking the width and height. The very most important thing you need is the size. When you're working with a CNC machine or laser cutter, you don't want the machine going outside of the clamps or its work area. Don't need to break anything. So go ahead and make sure everything is the right size. In my case, I'm making the document 10 millimeters smaller than my actual piece of work. So the material is going to be 10 millimeters bigger, and that'll help me get it clamped on and everything. Don't forget the units. In my case, I work with millimeters. Alright, get this centered, zoom in a little bit, and go ahead and click on the text tool. In my case, I'm putting in some text. You can go ahead and add any design that you want, shapes or whatever. In my case, it's just a simple little word. This is going to be like a little illuminating sign. It's going to glow in different colors, change colors. Alright, in my case, I made the document slightly smaller than my material, so I'm going to stretch this out to the very edges, and go ahead and change the font however you want. In my case, I've already selected the one I want. Once you're done, click Path, Object to Path, and that's it. You've changed this from an object, it's now a raster image, and you've got paths all the way around it. So we file, save. Alright, only one super important thing to look for. It is the save as type. Go ahead and make plain SVG. Alright, we're done. Thank you, Inkscape. Inkscape, in my experience, has made raster images way better than other free software like GIMP. In Inkscape, I've never had any image problems or raster problems. Right, that's it. Thank you, Inkscape. We're totally done. Let's get Estlcam. Now, this is another free software. The download links in the description. We're going to open that file from Inkscape. It is drawing. So go ahead and click on that. Once that opens up, click Alright, and there's our file. Now I'm going to select it. The only reason I'm selecting it is to check that the software sees it and it sees it correctly. In my case, it worked out really well. So let's do some engraving. Click on the engraving button. Now the gears are going to let you select it. This is the automatic selection. Never really works in my case. So back to the gear, and we're going to manually select each one. Hopefully you don't have 1,000 little pieces. So keep on clicking. Once you've clicked all the pieces, it's a good time to check to make sure all of them are outlining nicely and normally. After that, we just got to go up to the top and change all of our tool properties. So where it says number, name, and it's got all those little icons up at the very top, that's where we change our tool properties. You can add more than one tool in case your CNC machine can change tools. So first, if you want to change the name of this particular tool, give it a name that you like, and then what is the size. Now this is the depth, the Z depth, cutting depth, and this is the angle that it's protruding into, and this is your X, Y speed, your Z speed, and then spindle RPM, and other things that you might want to change in your case. Go ahead to Tools, and when you click View, you can add or take away all of the different tools that are suitable for your project. There's a ton. This software can run so many different machines. Alright, that's pretty much it. Go ahead and save our CNC program. Click File, Save CNC Program. Give it a name, and save. Alright, make sure that you are entering the correct cutting depth. This is going to kind of double check, make sure that you're not cutting too deep. Alright, here we are. This is where we can check what's going to happen in our machine. I do suggest that you run through this. You can put it into super fast forward mode, but it's really good to check that your machine's not doing something weird. There's been occasions where it's been zooming back and forth, and I had to redo it. So just give it a quick check, make sure it's not being silly. Alright, that was it. Estlcam, Inkscape's done. Now we're back in GSender. Load that file. So it's right there. And what we're going to do is load it in and check the measurements. Make sure that it's the right size. Again, we don't want our machine running into mounts, clamps, or off the edge. You can view it in different ways, different view angles, just to give you a more precise idea of exactly how big or small this thing is. I prefer this one. Alright, this can take a second. I gotta zoom my machine back to the bottom left corner of the workpiece. And in my case, it's quite far away. And I have my speed at 200. There's actually a good reason for this. The reason being is I have a underpowered machine. I don't want it to overwork the motors or anything. I have time. I can let it go slow. With this speed, I've never had any problems with it. Now I have the console open. I think that's also important. You might see the lines of red code running up through the console, and that means there's errors. Normally GSender will give you notifications, but it's also nice to see exactly what that error was and in what line, what went before it, and even caused that error. Alright, once you've got there, hit the 0 button. Once it's zeroed out, go ahead and make sure the image on your screen looks like it does on the machine. You need to make sure those two match up. What you see on the screen is going to be what the machine does. Now go ahead and click the outline button. This is going to go all the way around the outside perimeter. This is really important. Don't watch the screen. Go ahead and look at your machine. Make sure that the tool is not going to come off of the material, as well as it's not going to hit any clamps, brackets, anything else in the way. It's going to be a clean cut all the way around in just the material that you need to be cut. Right, if you're completely sure everything's going to work out, then you're ready to roll. The machine should stop right when it gets back to the 0 point. And after that, go ahead, click start, see what damage you can do. I wish you luck. I'm pretty sure it's going to work perfectly for you.